Hello everybody, welcome back to Code Arena. I'm Amina and today is the day 1 of HTML course and there will be 5 days. This is the day 1 of HTML course part 1. So let's get started. So basically we are going to learn that what is HTML and what is CSS, some things about, but this course is about HTML. So what are HTML and CSS? HTML is hypertext markup language. I know it seems boring, but it gives content, structure and meaning by defining that content as, for example, we can say headings, paragraphs or images. So basically this is the structural layer. So CSS is basically like what font will be used, what colors will be used, how the shape of the button will be used. CSS is so easy and so simple. So we'll do CSS course afterwards, but this one is the HTML course. So HTML is the structural layer and CSS is the presentational layer. HTML has head tag, body tag, so this is the structural layer, and CSS has appearance and look. So how the website page will be look, that is dependent on CSS. So let's have some meme on this. With HTML she is like this, and with CSS her face seems more beautiful. So let's continue. Okay, so this is VS Code, means Visual Studio Code. This is the code editor, and in this code editor we used to write our codes of HTML, CSS or any language. So how to download it? I've already mentioned the YouTube link of how to download VS Code in English, so you can understand easily if you are in Apple or in Windows. So firstly, this is the folder of HTML course, and I will make a file and name it index.html. This is the basic name. You can just name it anything you want, like todo.html or course.html, anything, but this is the basic name. So everything we used to write in it is covered in HTML tag. So basically this is the HTML opening tag. So this is the closing tag. If we put one slash, so this will be closed, and inside this HTML tag we used to write our head tag. Okay, so this is the head tag. Let's erase this all and let me tell you one thing. If I just write HTML and I hit enter, then it will come automatically, and if I write head, then it will automatically come. But we are using HTML5, which is the latest version of HTML. If I hit just exclamation mark and hit enter, then we will be having our boilerplate automatically. Basically this doc type HTML shows us that we are using HTML5 and we are not using HTML4. It's so simple. And then we are having this title tag. I've named my title as HTML course. Simple. You can name anything you want, like practice or anything. Now in this body tag we used to write our code. It's so simple. And in this head tag we will write all the links. Okay, you don't need to focus on these things. These are so simple. You just need to focus on the code. Okay, so here we can see the go live button. So here it is showing that click to run live server. Okay, these are the extensions in it. If we click here, then we'll be having the live server option. You just need to install it, and then I will click to go live. Okay, we are perfectly done. Now the main thing, which is the code. So if I write here h1, then what will happen? It will come automatically. The opening tag is there and the closing tag is there. This one is the opening tag and this one is the closing tag. Now inside this h1, if I write here my name, let's say Amina. Let's save this and we'll go to our browser. So here we can see it's Amina, but in a big font, right? So let me explain you by some slides. So this is the h1 tag. If we want some smaller heading, like this is the heading 1, this is the heading 2, this is the heading 3. If I write here h2 instead of h1, so it will come half of the h1. And if I write here h3 like heading 3, so it will come half of the h2. Hopefully it's cleared. Now let me show you by the code. Okay, so now we are going to write H2 means the heading 2. Let's click here. So let's write here Amina again. Let's save this. See, we are having Amina, but this is a bit smaller than this. This is the H1 tag and this is the H2 tag. It's so simple and so fun to do. Now let's do H3 and we can write Amina. After H3 tag we can write here H4. Let's write here Amina, and after H4 we can write here H5, the same, and then the last one, which is H6. So there is no H7 tag or H8 tag. We are just allowed to write till here. Let's save this and see the result. See, we are having the biggest heading and H2 tag, H3 tag, H4 tag, H5 tag, and the smallest one, which is the H6 tag. Hopefully you are cleared with the headings. Now we'll jump into paragraphs. P tag is so simple. If I write here P and I click enter, and this is the paragraph. If I want to write some paragraphs, long paragraphs, so I will write in the P tag. Let's write here Amina is learning HTML. Let's save this and see the result. So we are having this whole sentence. So let's say I want a big paragraph. I can mention it in the P tag. Hopefully you are cleared with the P tag. Now what if I want this type of output? Like this is the H1 tag and this is the H2 tag. So let's do it. Okay, so we'll comment this all. We'll just click Control/ and these all will be commented. Like we cannot see this in the web page. Okay, so now let's do the challenge. If I want this practice makes perfect, so I will write here practice makes perfect. So this is the output. Okay, now below this I want let's practice. So we'll write it in the H2 tag to make it a bit smaller. So let's practice, and then let's put an emoji by Windows plus dot. Let's save this. See, we are having this perfect look. Now the main thing arrives. I want to give you a quick challenge. If you can make this type of layout, just the layout, no need to add some colors or fonts, just make this layout. Like this one is the H1 tag, H3 tag and P tag. You just need to make this type of layout. Just do it in the web page. It's so easy to do. Pause the video and do it. So that is it for today, guys. This was just a challenge. You just need to do this. So we will meet in the day 2. Like tomorrow the day 2 of HTML will come, and there are only 5 parts. There are only 5 days. You can learn HTML basics in just 5 days. CSS course is coming soon, so please wait for it. Take a break and do this and practice, because practice makes perfect. Thank you so much for watching. Hello everybody, welcome back to Code Arena. I am Amina, and today we are going to learn more and more things about HTML. So this one is the part 2 of HTML for beginners, and let's start. Okay, so in the last video I have given a challenge to you guys that you need to make this type of layout. You just need to write it, no colors, no fonts. Hopefully you are cleared with it. Now we'll jump into images. So basically images are so simple. If you want to insert any kind of image into your web page, then you can definitely add it. Let's start with the images part. Okay, so I am here in my VS Code. So firstly, if I want to add any kind of image in my web page, so I will write here just img. It's done, and I will click enter, and then we are having these two options. Okay, so first we'll remove this because we don't want this right now. I will explain it afterwards. And we are having this image tag, but this image tag does not have a closing tag with it. Okay, and we are having this src. This means what? That it is having a source, and in this source we need to insert our image link. Okay, so here's the new tab, and let's say I want the image of pizza. Let's write here pizza image. So let's say I want this image. So firstly I will right click to this image and I will click copy image link. Don't copy image, just click copy image link and go to your editor and just paste this link in the src. Okay, then we'll save it and we'll go live. This image now this image is too big, so we can just make this image a bit smaller. Let's say I would add width, and in this width I could say 20% of the image. Let's save this. So this image is so small, so I can just increase the size to 30%. Okay, so we are having a normal image with it. So let's make it more creative. Like above this image I will just add an h1 tag, and I will write here, let's say, let's eat pizza. Okay, so below this h1 tag we can mention h3 tag, like from which restaurant we are eating this. So let's say from Domino's Pizza. Let's save this. We are perfectly having pizza web page which we wanted. Now there is a quick challenge for you. Okay, so this is the challenge for you. Let me see if you can make this beautiful donut page. Now we'll move to the nesting part. Basically, nesting part is just like this. It's just like a tree. This picture is from another website, scrimba.com, and it makes easier for you to understand. Basically, div is a container, or you can say is a box, and in this div you can wrap anything you want. Let me explain you by going to the VS Code. Okay, so let's say this is an image and I want to wrap this image, or I want to keep this image in a container. So I will just write here div, which is the div, and it's called a container. Okay, so we are having this div. Now this image is wrapped in a container, so the code will be much cleaner. So you can just wrap these both elements too in a div. So this was just a nesting part. See, this is the HTML document tree, and here is the biggest div, and inside this div we are having two divs, and inside this div we are having an image and an h3 tag, and inside this div we are having three different things, and inside this p tag we are having an a tag. But currently we are not aware of a tag, and soon you will learn about it. Now we are going to talk about buttons in HTML. So let's go. We are having the HTML5, and inside this we are having buttons. So basically this is the look of buttons. There is an opening tag and there is an closing tag, and inside this we are having a written text which is called by, and this output will be like this. This will be a small button, and this will be clicked also, but nothing will happen. So let's do it in the code. First of all, we'll comment this all. Basically, comment means this will not show it in our web page. So firstly, as written, we'll just write button and we'll just click enter, and then we are having the by option. So let's write by. Okay, let's close this. We are having this small little button. It is hovering also, but nothing will happen. Now I have a quick challenge for you. Hopefully it will be easy for you. We are having just hey there, and inside this we are having you have been granted access to the platform. Please create your account. You just need to make an sign up button, and you need to add an heading, and below this heading you can add h4 tag or h3 tag, whichever suits in this picture. All the best. Make it. And after you make it, I will show you the solution as well. Okay, so let's go to the solution. Firstly, we'll comment this out, and we are having hey there. So we'll just add an heading and we'll write here hey there. And below this we can write h3 tag, and we can just write here you have been granted access to the platform. Please create an account. Okay, and then the main thing, which is to make the button. So we'll just write here button, and inside it we'll write here sign up. So let's save this. Wow, we are having the perfect look. I know the font is not same, but when we'll learn about CSS, we'll go to the font also. So we are perfectly done. Now we'll be talking about input tag in HTML. So let's go. Format of input tag. Basically, input tag looks like this. It is similar to the image tag. It does not have the closing tag. It just have the opening tag, and it's called self-closing tag. Now, if I write here just input and hit enter, then nothing will happen. We'll be having this type, and then inside this type we'll write, let's say, text, and in the placeholder we are having the written text. Like if I'll write enter username, then it will come like this. This will be the output. And if I write here Amina, so my name will be here. Okay, so not a big deal. Now we'll be understanding this input tag in the code. Let's go. So first of all, we'll comment this out. We'll be talking about input tags. So let's write here input. So we are having this type and its default text. Okay, and after that we'll be writing here placeholder, and inside it let's write Amina. Okay, and then we'll save it. See, we are having this Amina, and we can write here anything like my name is Amina. Okay, it's so simple. Like the placeholder is just for the background. Like if I want to tell you that you need to write your username, and then I will write here enter username. Okay, hopefully you are clear with it. Now the challenge part arrives. This is the challenge for you. It's so simple. You just need to add a button for your practice, and you need to just write the same text above, and you need to add the input tag. Okay, hopefully you will be clear in it. Now in the input tag we are having several types. So let's say this is the input tag and we are having the type of text. Then it will come, like if I will write something, then it will show it to me. But if I write here password instead of text, but it will just show me that I am writing an password. Work like an website pages, like we used to enter password. Now it's time for you to practice. We are having several types. Like if I write date instead of text, then it will show it to me like this. And if I write color, then we'll be having the options of colors. Isn't it great? And we are having the time. If I write here time, then it will show me the time. Okay, so just try this and explore these kind of things for more practice in HTML. Okay, so that is it for today, guys, and today we have learned about images in HTML, buttons in HTML, and input tag and its types in HTML. So this was the day 2 of HTML course, and we'll be having 5 days as I've told yesterday. Stay tuned, and there is a good news for you. If you complete all 5 days, then I will be providing you a certificate for your HTML basics course, and I will talk about it in the last day, which is the day 5. Thanks for watching. So hello everybody, welcome back to Code Arena. I am Amina, and today we are gonna learn more and more things in HTML. This is the day 3 of HTML for beginners, and there will be 5 days. So let's get started. First of all, we'll just recap that what we have learned in day 1 and day 2. So in day 1 we have learned these things. You can just see and practice. In day 2 we have learned about images, nesting, buttons, inputs, its types, and many more things. You can just check it out and revise it. And now we are gonna start in day 3. So firstly, we'll make the boilerplate with HTML, and we can just delete these all things if we want. So today we are going to learn about basic small tags in HTML. So let's get started. So what is BR tag in HTML? We can just take a line break with BR tag. Like, for example, if I write a heading once and after that I want a line break, then I can add the BR tag, obviously. So let's learn it by the code. So we are in the body section. Firstly, let's get some heading. We are learning BR tag. Let's save this, and first we'll go live. Okay, so we are having this big heading, and now if I want to add a p tag, so let me add the p tag. I am Amina. Let's save this. See, we are having this p tag. Now what if I want a line break between these two elements? So I'll just add br, and it's self closing, so we don't need to close it. Okay, let's save this and see the result. See, we are having a line break between these two sentences. Okay, now let's go further. Now what is b tag in HTML? It helps to make the sentence bold. Let's try it by code. Okay, so we are here in our body section. First we'll comment this out by /. What if I want to make an p tag? Let's say I'm writing about my channel. So my YouTube channel's name is Code Arena. Let's save this and see the result. Okay, so we are having this normal sentence. Now what if I want this Code Arena to be bold? Okay, so I'll just add b here, and at the end I will close this. Let's save this and see the result. See, we are having this Code Arena bold, but this sentence is normal. Okay, so this is about bold. Now let's move further. Okay, so we are having this I tag in HTML. It helps to make the text in italic. Let's try it by the code. I'll just do Alt Shift down, and I will change this B into I. Let's do this and let's save this and see the result. We are having this first sentence in bold and the second sentence in italics. Now let's move further. Now we are having U tag. If we use U tag, then we can underline the text. Let's try it by the code. We'll again do Alt Shift down, and I will just change this I to U. Let's save this and see the result. Okay, we are having this Code Arena in the underlined form. Now let's move further. Now we are having this big tag in HTML. Basically, it helps to make the text a bit bigger than normal. Let's try it by the code. We'll again do Alt Shift down, and we'll change this U into big. Okay, so when I write this big tag, I'm having this red text. So it still works. Let me show you. See, we are having this big text, but it's not recommended to us because with CSS we can increase the font size. It's not recommended. Now let's move further. Okay, so we are having this small tag in HTML. It helps to make the text a bit smaller than normal. Let's try it by the code. We'll just do Alt Shift down, and we'll change this big to small. Okay, let's save this and see the result. We are having this a bit smaller. So now you'll be wondering that why we are learning B tag, I tag, or these tags. These are just the tags. You need to take the knowledge, but we can increase the size with CSS, we can decrease the size with CSS, we can do everything with CSS. But HTML is kind of boring, so we are just making it a bit creative. Now let's move further and learn more things. Now we are having this HR tag. It helps to make an horizontal line. It's horizontal rule. See, H stands for horizontal and R stands for rule. It's an horizontal rule. Let's try it by the code. So let's do HR, it's self-closing, and we'll save this and see, we are having this big horizontal line here. Okay, now let's move further. Okay, now what is sub tag in HTML? Basically it's subscript. So let's say I've written here P, and inside it I've written O, and in the sub tag I've written 2, and after that I've closed these both. Then the output would be like this O2. Okay, so it helps to make the text below the normal text. Okay, so it's subscript. Now let's try it by the code. Okay, so I will just comment these all things. Now let's say I've made a P tag, and inside this P tag I've written O, and after this O I've made a substring and I have written here 2. So let's save this and see the result. We are having this perfect O2. Now let's move ahead. Okay, so now what is superscript? I have taken a small example here. Inside this p tag I have written 5, and after 5 I have written here a superscript, and inside this superscript I have written here 2. So it will come above the normal text, and after inside this p tag I have written equals to 25. So this will be the output. Superscript helps us to write the text upwards. So now let's try it by the code. Okay, so here I'll make a p tag, and inside this I'll write 5. Okay, and now I will make the superscript SUP, and inside the superscript I will write here 2. So 5 square is equals to 25. Let's save this and see the result. Wow, we are having this perfect look which we wanted. So this 2 is coming upwards of the text, so it's called superscript, and this 2 is coming below the text, so it's called substring. Now we'll move ahead. So this will be the last part of our today's session. So now what is nav tag? Nav tag is just like the div tag but in a different name. Okay, when we see some options above our computer screen, so this will be the output. So this is the nav bar. So it's just like the div tag but in a different name. But when we are making this kind of layout, recommended is this nav tag. Okay, hopefully you are clear with all the basic tags of HTML. Now what we have learned today, let's see. So in day 3 we have learned about BR tag in HTML, B tag in HTML, I tag, U tag, big tag, small tag, HR tag, substring, superscript, and then the last one is the nav tag in HTML. So that is it for today, guys. If you like my video, then share it with your friends. By the way, this was the day 3 and tomorrow will be the day 4, and the last one is the day 5 of HTML. If you complete all 5 days, then you are clearly done with HTML basics, and I will provide you a certificate, and more information will be provided in the day 5. Thank you so much for watching my video. Hello everybody, welcome back to Code Arena. I'm Amina, and today we are going to learn about links in HTML and more things. So basically, A tags are anchor tags. If we click enter to A tags, then we'll be having this href and we'll be having these strings, and we need to paste a link. Then the output would be this. Okay, so we'll try it by the code. So this is the day 4 of HTML, and let's revise it what we have learned in day 1, day 2 and day 3. So in day 1 we have learned about these things. You can just see them and revise them and practice them. And in day 2 we have learned about images, buttons, nesting, inputs and many more things. In day 3 we have learned about basic tags in HTML, and now is the day 4 and tomorrow is the last day of the course. So first I will make the boilerplate in HTML, and after that I will give the title to day 4 of HTML. Okay, and now in the body section we'll just write here A and we'll hit enter. Then we are having this href automatically, and now in this href I will, let's say, let me put the link of YouTube. Okay, I've pasted in here, and now I'll save this and I will go live. So here I will just add a heading 1 that we are learning about links. Let's save this. Okay, we are having this big heading, and now inside this link I will just add here YouTube link. Let's save this. See, we are having this YouTube link. Now when I will click here, I will be getting into YouTube. Okay, so let's move ahead. Now we are having an example. Here we are having the H2 tag, means the heading 2 tag, and inside this we are having I wanna eat pizza. Let me find the recipe. let's search in YouTube, and inside this I have written a YouTube link and I have written here click here, so I'll get the YouTube recipe. Now let's move ahead. We are having open it in the new tab. Now I face a condition when I used to click on the link. The tab is the same, like the day 4 and the YouTube tab is the same. So if we want to open the YouTube link in the new tab, then we can add this target underscore blank. Okay, I know it's a weird name, but it is what it is. So let's try it by the code. So inside this A tag, I will just add target underscore blank. Okay, now we'll save. Now we'll try this out. See, the YouTube link is opening in the new tab. Okay, so we are perfectly done with our links. Now let's move ahead. What is the proper structure in HTML? Let's learn about it. Structure in HTML. This is the structure in HTML. And if we hit exclamation mark, then we'll be having this boilerplate automatically. This is called emit. So if we write A and we are hitting enter, then we'll be having href automatically. This is called emit. Okay, let's move ahead. Lists in HTML. Let's learn about it. Basically, there are two lists. So what is the explanation? The short for the ordered list is OL tag. The short for the unordered list is UL tag. Inside this list, that means what? Inside the ordered that means what? Inside the ordered list items. That means what? LI tag. Okay. So let's take an example. Ordered list is equals to OL tag. Here they are. OL tag and OL tag. This is the opening OL tag and this is the closing OL tag. Now inside this OL tag we are having list items, and inside this list items we are having 4 game names, indoor game names. Okay, and then the output would be Ludo, chess, Monopoly and Game of Life. But what is the difference between the paragraph or the headings? So this is the difference. We are having the numbers automatically. We'll try it by the code. So here I will just comment this out and then I will go with ordered list OL, and inside this OL tag I will write here LI, means list items. So let's say I am writing my favorite subject, the maths. We'll just do Alt Shift down, and we'll write here English history. Let's save this and see the result. Wow, we are having these numbers, and with these numbers we are having our subjects. Okay, hopefully you are cleared with it. Now we'll move ahead. Now what are unordered lists? If I write here UL tag, and inside this UL tag I have written LI tag, and the same games are there, but the output would be like this. That means what? We have no numbers, but we are having this tiny little dots in unordered list. Let's try it by the code. So I will just copy this and I'll paste it in here, and I'll change the OL tag to UL tag. Wow, we are having this same output, but the numbers are different here. Okay, hopefully you're cleared with lists. Now let's move ahead. Now there is a task for you. Listen carefully. You need to make an unordered list, and inside this you need to write your top 3 favorite desserts. Best of luck. Just do it and post your achievements on Twitter. Now, what is checkbox in HTML? To make the checkbox in HTML, we use the input tag. Example is here. In the H1 tag, I have written here checkbox. Okay, so this will come like a normal heading. After the H1 tag, I have written here input tag. And inside this input tag, I have given the type to checkbox. Basically, there are several types. So I have taken one of them, and then the output would be like this. We can just tick mark our box or we cannot. Now let's try it by the code. So we'll just comment these out with Ctrl/ and then we'll move ahead. Now let's say I'm writing here an H3 tag, and inside this, let's say checkbox in HTML. And inside this H3 tag, I will mark an input tag. Okay, and inside this type, I will write here checkbox. We will save this. Okay, we are having this perfect match. We can just tick it,
or we can remove this tick mark. Now let's move further. So here's the task once again. You need to make your school subject list and then put the checkbox. After that, tick mark your favorite subjects among them. And this will be the output. Now it's time for you to do this fun activity. So that is it for today, guys. This was the day 4, and in the day 4 we have learned about links in HTML, open the link in the new tab in HTML, proper structure in HTML, links in HTML, practice of ordered and unordered lists, task of lists, and then we are having checkbox in HTML, and in the last we are having the task of the checkbox. So tomorrow is the last day of our HTML basics course. If you learn these all 5 days, then you are the pro in HTML. And tomorrow we are going to make a project. In these 4 days we have learned about so many things, but what about the practice? So tomorrow is the practice session and tomorrow is the project session. So be ready with your code editor, and thanks for watching.
So hello everybody, welcome back to Code Arena. I am Amina and today we are going to make our personal web page with HTML. So this is the day 5 of HTML for Beginners series, and if you complete these all days, then you are a pro in HTML, and CSS series is coming soon, so please wait for it. Today we are going to make the big project. So firstly, I am just showing you that what we have learned in day 1, day 2, day 3 and day 4. So in day 1 we have learned about what is HTML, structure in HTML, h1 to h6 tags and then p tag. In day 2 we have learned about images, nesting, buttons, input tag and input tag types. In day 3 we have learned about, it's br tag and then b tag, I tag, u tag, big, small, hr tag which is the horizontal rule, and then we have learned about substring, superscript, and then we have learned about nav tag. Okay, and in day 4, which was yesterday, we have learned about links in HTML, link in new tab, like you have to open the link in the new tab, and then we have proper structure in HTML, then lists in HTML, and after that we have learned about ordered and unordered lists. So that is the practice in HTML, then task of list, checkbox in HTML, and then task of checkbox. Okay, hopefully you are cleared with these all. If you are not, these all days links are in the description, so please go and watch them. This is the day 5. So today we are going to make this personal page as I have shown you. So here are some hints that you can see and we are going to make together. So let's make it. So these are the day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and this is the day 5.html. So firstly, I'll make a boilerplate in HTML. After that, I will give the title. You know, the title of the web page would be personal page. Okay. And then I'll go to my body section. The first thing we are having is the image. Let me copy the image. Okay, so this is my profile image. So I'll just right click on this and I'll do copy image link. Okay, now I'm done with copying the image. Now I'll make the image tag. Okay, and after that I'll paste the link here, which is my profile link. I'll delete this. Okay, now let's go live. See, we are having this perfect image with us. Let me close this. Okay, so this one is our image, but I think it's too big. So we can do one thing in HTML, that is we'll just set the width for 20%. Okay, we'll save this. See, now it's perfect. Okay, after this image tag we are having h1 tag. So let's make the h1 tag. I'm here in my body section and I'll wrap this image into a div so it will be more readable for you. Let me just write here div, paste it in here. Okay, if you have not installed this Prettier extension, so you can just go to extensions, so your code will be formatted like me. Okay, you will get the same extension. See, this one is the Prettier code formatter. I have already installed it. Now I'll go to my files. Let's go to day5.html. Let's close this. After this div, I'll make an h1 tag, and inside this I'll write here Amina hair. Okay, let's save this. See, we are having this perfect match which we wanted. And after h1 we have h2 tag, and inside this h2 tag we have my hobbies, and inside this my hobbies we have coding, blogging and painting. You need to mention your hobbies. Okay, this is the ul tag plus li tag, which is unordered list plus list items. Okay, let's make these two things and let's return here again. Okay, here I'll make h2 tag and I'll write here my hobbies. Okay, and after h2 tag I'll make an ul tag, which is the unordered list, and inside this unordered list I'll make list items. And in these list items, let me say firstly our favorite, which is coding. Let's put an emoji by Windows plus dot, and now I'll do Alt Shift down 2 times, or let's say 1 more time. Okay, and we'll remove this. So let me write here painting. Okay, let's put an emoji, and let me remove this too. Blogging, which is one of my favorite work, teaching. Okay, now we'll save this and see the result. Okay, then we are perfectly done with our hobbies and our unordered list. Now let's move further. Okay, so here we have I tag, and after that we have this P tag, which is the paragraph, and after that we have A tag. What is A tag? It's anchor tags, which is also known as links. So we can put here the Twitter link. We can say connect with me on Twitter. So let's make this. Okay, I'm back in our body section. I'll write here P tag. Okay, inside this P tag I'll write here connect with me on Twitter. Now this Twitter is for anchor tags, so I'll remove this and I'll write here A tags. Okay, and inside this A tag I'll put my Twitter link. Let's paste it in here. Okay, and now inside these anchor tags I will write here Twitter. Let's save this and see the result. We have connect with me on Twitter. Let's open this. Okay, it's nice, but it's opening in the same tab. I've already mentioned a thing in my earlier videos, that how can we open the link in the new tabs. So let me show you that. Inside this A tag, after the strings, we can mention here target underscore blank. Okay, let's save this and now let's try this. Okay, see, the Twitter link is opening in the new tab. Now we are pending with our I tag because we need to make this in italics. Okay, now I'll mention here I tag. Let's close this. Now let's see the result. See, we have perfectly done with our I tag, but this Twitter is not an I tag, so we can make this too. Let me first add the I tag, and inside this I'll write here Twitter. Let's save this. We have perfectly achieved this I tag. Now let's move ahead. After the link, we are having this input tag. Now what is input tag? So this is the field where we can write whatever we want. So let's say this is the static page. Obviously this will not work, but for our practice it is the best. So in this input tag I will mention here enter email. Let's make this. After the P tag we'll just mention the input tag, and inside this input tag we are automatically having this text because it is default. Okay, and inside this input tag I will add the placeholder, and in this placeholder I will write here enter email. Okay, now let's save this and see the result. Okay, we are perfectly having this placeholder plus input tag, so we can just enter our email. Okay, now let's close this and let's move further. And now we have h3 tag, and inside this h3 tag we have written here learned HTML basics from Code Arena YouTube channel. Now let's mention this. After the input tag I'll add the h3 tag, and let me write here learned HTML basics from Code Arena YouTube channel. Let's save this. Okay, here we have this amazing h3 tag. Now let's move further. After h3 tag, we have this p tag plus checkbox. Now why we have p tag? Because here we have written day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 and then day 5. Okay, now let's make this. After the h3 tag, we'll just mention here the p tag and let's write here day 1. And now we'll mention the input tag. Okay, and then in this type we'll change the text to checkbox. Now let's save this. Okay, see, the day 1 is here and the input tag is here. Now what we can do, that we can just join these both in just one line. So let me show you that. I'll just copy this input tag and inside this p tag I will paste, so that what we can do, we can just see these input tag in one line. Okay, we have this perfect day 1 and the checkbox. So I've already done day 1, so let me just take it out, and now I'll do Alt Shift down for 5 times because we have the 5 days class. I'll remove this day 1 to day 2 and this day 1 to day 3 and then day 4 and the day 5. Let's save this. Okay, we are perfectly having these all days. So I've done all 4 days, but this day 5 is still pending. So after doing this I'll take it out. I think this image is too much big, so I can just make it small. So I'll just do this 20 to 15%. Okay, now this image is much shorter. So here you can see that we have this background color in yellow and this font is also much different. So I've done this in CSS. You can also do it. Let me show you. So I'll just do here, ignore this line. You just need to ignore it. I'll just mention it in the description box. Just copy this and paste in your HTML and you will be having the same output as you want. But in CSS series you will be perfectly understand that what I have done here. Okay, so I'll just change the font family to sans serif, and after that the background color would be, we can have the light blue color. Okay, this is our previous page and this is our brand new page, but still there is one thing pending. This image has no background, but this image has the background. So let me show you how to remove this background. Just open the new tab and write here remove.bg. This is the background image remover. So let me copy this image. I'll paste it in here. And this is the original image and this one is the removed background image. Let me just right click into this and I'll just do copy image link. So this is copied and now I'll paste this link in my SRC. Okay, so let me paste it in here and let me see what's the result. So we are perfectly done with our image. So we can just change this background color into whatever color we want. So let me just do Thistle, so this will work more better. Okay, we are perfectly done with our personal web page. If you like my video, then share it with your friends. And there is a big good news for you, which is if you complete these all day 5 and you make this project and you tick this all out, then I will be providing you a certificate, which you deserve this because you have been doing this HTML basic series for 5 days and you deserve this certificate. So what are the rules for it? You just need to DM me on Twitter. My Twitter account is in the description and you need to send me this screenshot of your personal web page and then I will be providing you your HTML basic certificate, which you of course deserve. Okay, so thank you so much for watching my video, guys.